kids, usually starting around 4:30 each evening.
Is there someone else who could help if you were selected as a juror in this case?
Possibly neighbors, but I'm not sure if they'll be willing to help for 3 weeks.
All right. How old is the child or children?
5 and 11.
Okay, thank you, sir. Anybody else? Juror in seat number 11.
Yes, ma'am. I have a 10-month-old and a 5-year-old, and my wife is primarily at home with them. She does not work, but we don't have anybody else in the area that helps us, and so it's just a lot for her when she's on her own.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Juror in seat 42.
Yes, next week is or every other week I get to see my kids. So it's just me every other week.
Okay, for the whole week?
Yes.
So if you were a juror, you would just have to skip either 1 or 2 weeks, depending on where you are in the cycle.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Juror in seat 59.
Yes, I have a grandson. My daughter works Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. I have to pick him up from school on Monday and Tuesday.
Thank you.
He's 4 years old.
All right, thank you, sir. Anybody else? All right. Anyone who's had any difficulty understanding the language so far? Juror in seat 55. What's your difficulty been, sir?
Yeah, I understand only around 50 to 60%.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Juror in seat number 12.
Yeah, I only understand like for 45 to 15%. I don't understand that much.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Juror in seat 23.
I have a problem to understand everything.
Okay, how much do you think you've understood?
I can't really tell you exactly, but my English is not perfect, so I don't want to complicate anything.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, let me see the attorneys. All right, folks. Teresa, you're going to start dotting people. I'm going to call you out one at a time. And much like you exit a church, I'm going to start from the inside out because it's the easiest way to move people out of the courtroom. Okay? So pay attention to what I'm about to say. I'm starting on the left side here. Juror in seat number 7, you are excused with the thanks of the court. You may get your employment or your excusal letter and your parking validated in the jury room. Thank you, sir. Leave your paddles here. The masks, by the way, are a gift from us to you. You can keep them. Juror in seat number 6, you are excused with the thanks of the court. Report to the jury room. There are no other juries being picked today. You're going down to the jury room for some paperwork so that you can leave. Juror in seat number 5, you are returning Monday for individual voir dire at 9 a.m. Please stay in the courtroom for a minute because I have instructions for you all. Juror in seat number 4, you are returning at 9 a.m. on Monday morning for individual voir dire. Please remain in the courtroom. I have some instructions for you. Juror in seat number 3, you are returning at 9 a.m. for individual voir dire on Monday morning. Please remain in the courtroom. Juror in seat number 2, you are excused with the thanks of the court. Juror in seat number 1, you are returning Monday morning at 9 a.m. for individual voir dire. Remain in the courtroom, please. All right. First row going this way. Juror in seat number 8, you are returning Monday morning for individual voir dire at 9 a.m. Please remain in the courtroom. Juror in seat number 9, you are returning for individual voir dire on Monday morning, 9 a.m. Stay in the courtroom. Juror in seat number 10 has been previously excused. Juror in seat number 11, you're excused with the thanks of the court. Report to the jury room. Juror in seat number 12, you are excused with the thanks of the court. Please report to the jury room. Juror in seat number 13, you are returning Monday morning at 9 a.m. for jury selection, or I'm sorry, for individual voir dire. And I'll need you to give me the details of whatever it is you have on Monday morning so that I can make arrangements. Juror in seat number 14, you are returning on Monday morning, 9 a.m. for individual voir dire. Juror in seat number 15, you are returning on Monday morning for individual voir dire. And, all right, starting in the second row, juror in seat 22, you are returning on Monday morning, individual voir dire. Juror in seat 21, you are returning on Monday at 10:30 for individual voir dire. Juror in seat 20, you're excused with the thanks of the court. Report to the jury room. Juror in seat 19, you are returning for individual voir dire on Monday morning at 10:30. Juror in seat 18, you're excused with the thanks of the court. Juror in seat 17, you are returning on Monday morning at 10:30, individual voir dire. Juror in seat 16, you're excused with the thanks of the court. Report to the jury room. Juror in seat 23, you're excused with the thanks of the court. Report to the jury room. Juror in seat 24, you're excused with the thanks of the court. Report to the jury room. Juror in seat 25, you are returning on Monday morning, 10:30. Juror in seat 26, you're returning on Monday morning at 10:30. Juror in seat 27, you're returning on Monday morning at 10:30. Juror in seat 28, you're returning on Monday morning at 10:30. Juror in seat 29, you're returning Monday morning at 10:30. Juror in seat 30, you're returning Monday morning at 10:30. Juror in seat 37, you're excused with the thanks of the court. Juror in seat 36, you're excused with the thanks of the court. All of you report to the jury room if you're excused. Juror in seat 35, you're excused with the thanks of the court. 34 and 33, you're excused with the thanks of the court. Juror in seat 32, you are returning Monday morning at 10:30. Juror in seat 31, you're returning Monday at 1:30. I'm sorry. Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir. You need to make other arrangements. You'll be here at 1:30. I understand, sir. You'll need to make other arrangements. I'm going to let you go in just a minute so that you can talk to your employer. Juror in seat 38, you're excused, or no, I'm sorry. Juror in seat 38, you're reporting on Monday at 1:30. Juror in seat 39, you're reporting on Monday at 1:30. Juror in seat 40, you're excused with the thanks of the court. Juror in seat 41, you're reporting Monday at 1:30. Juror in seat 42, you're reporting Monday at 1:30. Jurors in seat 43 and 44, you are excused with the thanks of the court. Report to the jury room. Juror in seat 45, you're reporting Monday morning at 1:30. Or Monday afternoon, I'm sorry. Juror in seat 52, you are reporting Monday at 1:30. Juror in seat 51, you're excused with the thanks of the court. Juror in seat 50, you're reporting Monday at 1:30. Juror in seat 49, you're reporting Monday at 1:30. Juror in seat 48, you're reporting Monday at 1:30. Please have the information about your work pay by then, please. Thanks. And juror in seat 47, you are excused with the thanks of the court. Juror in seat 46, you're reporting Monday at 1:30. Juror in seat 53, you're excused. Juror in seat 54, you're reporting Monday at 1:30, I'm sorry, at 3. Please have the information about your employer by then, all right? Juror in seat 55, you're excused with the thanks of the court. Juror in seat 56, you're excused. Juror in 57, you're reporting at 3 o'clock on Monday. And by the way, folks, you're reporting to this floor. Juror 58, you're excused. Thanks to the court, report to the jury room. Juror in 59, I'm going to talk to you in a minute, so just stay here. And juror in seat 60, you're excused with the thanks of the court. All right, with the exception of the juror in seat 59, I'm going to release the rest of you after giving you these instructions. On Monday, on your assigned time, the clerk is now going to start putting the time, a blue dot, and the time that you're supposed to be here on your badge. That's just to remind you. We're giving you a slip of paper that gives you instructions on what numbers to call to verify things. You must report to the jury room before you leave the courthouse. They have an additional document for you, which is for your school, your employer, whatever, to let them know that you have been called back to jury duty and that you were here today. Listen very carefully to what I'm about to tell you. We are monitoring social accounts of jurors in this case. You are not allowed to talk to anyone about this case. That includes your best friend, your mom, your dad, your husband. your kids. You cannot discuss this case until you are discharged as a juror in this case. You may not look up anything about this case on the internet or Facebook or anywhere else. Don't talk about this case. Don't look anything up about this case. This is not a request. It is a court order. And if someone tries to talk to you about it, tell them you can't discuss it and walk away. Don't fall into the trap of the judge is never going to find out. If I find out, you are going to be in trouble. Let me be blunt about it, all right? Because this can cause a mistrial in a case. All we're asking you to do is stay away. Don't watch TV or the news. Don't watch the news. Don't read stories about the case or anything else, all right? Once you have gotten your blue dot and your instructions, you're free to go down to the jury room, except for the juror in seat number 59. We need to talk to you, sir. All right, thank you, folks. Once you've gotten what you need, you're free to go. Leave your paddles here. Thank you. Yes, sir, what can I do for you?
What if you know too much about this case already?
Sir, we will talk about it on Monday, all right? Do not discuss this case. We'll see you later. Thank you. I'm sorry, what? Yes, what can I help you with? Okay, just tell him to sit there for a minute. Yeah, get the other panel ready to go. All right, juror in seat 29. What's your name? I can't hear you. Hold on, they're going to give you a microphone.
Eduardo.
Okay, and you're a student?
Yes.
Where are you a student?
Polytechnic University of Puerto Rico.
I'm sorry, where?
University Polytechnic of Puerto Rico.
Are you just here visiting?
No.
Are you going to school online?
No. In campus.
You're
I
going to
have
school
2
in
classes
Tampa?
in campus and 3 in online.
Okay, and you say you're having trouble understanding what we're saying?
Some words.
Okay. How long have you been living in the mainland of the United States?
4.
How
4
long?
years.
How long?
4 years.
4 years? State, you wish to inquire? Any objection? Defense? All right. All right, sir, you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, juror in seat number 59. What is the issue that you've been wanting to tell me about?
I have a family member that knows Mr. Loyd, and I also have family members that I'm not 100% sure, but I have family members that know, with no disrespect, the officer, I can't remember her name. The,
Lieutenant Clayton?
Ma'am?
Lieutenant Clayton?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so have you already formed an opinion about this case?
Yeah, because it was, yes.
Just
pretty
tell me the
much.
truth, sir. There are no right or wrong answers to this. There's just the
Yes,
truth.
ma'am. Yes,
All right.
ma'am.
And do you think that opinion would affect your ability to be fair and impartial? And by fair and impartial, I mean you have to start this case assuming Mr. Loyd is innocent. Can you do that?
Like I said, I don't know. I
right.
mean, it would be difficult based
State.
on what.
All right. Thank you, sir. State, you wish to inquire?
No, Your Honor, we would move.
Defense?
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right.
You need to speak up, sir. I'm really having a problem hearing.
Ma'am, I have, like I said, I'm 100% disability. I have mental issues also. That's
Okay.
what gave me the 100%. So, sir,
So, sir, before you hear the case or hear any evidence, why do you believe Mr. Loyd is guilty?
I didn't say if he was guilty. I didn't make a determination of either or.
Okay, so you can listen to the evidence with an open mind?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know.
So why are you hesitating? What don't you know?
What I don't know is, like I said, I have family members that, I mean, this was all over the news, and family members know the two parties. Okay, so it has been mentioned in family gatherings, you know. I don't know how to answer that question, sir.
Well, you're saying you have family members. Is the fact that family members have a relationship or know Sergeant Clayton, is that going to affect your ability to listen with an open mind and decide this case?
Yes, because I know family members that know the defendant also.
Okay, so you know family members that know
Well, I know
Mr.
one.
Mr. Loyd?
Yes.
Who is that family member?
Desiree Willis.
Okay, and do you have contact with that person?
Yes.
Have you ever had discussions about Mr. Lloyd's case with her?
Not recently.
Okay. So is the fact that you know her going to affect your ability to keep an open mind in terms of the state, the state's case?
Well, I look at it another way. I look at it as being on the jury, and this is an open case for the public. And if she shows up or other family members and they see me sitting in the jury box, that's going to make me uncomfortable. That will make me uncomfortable.
Okay, and it may make you uncomfortable, but the question is, are you going to allow them to influence your thinking either in favor of the state or in favor of the defense?
I just don't want no hardship to come on any of my family members because of the way that the outcome of the verdict may be.
So what you're saying is that if you sit on this jury and you find Mr. Loyd not guilty, that could be a hardship on some of your family members.
The ones that knew Ms. Clayton.
Okay. And so how is that going to affect your decision-making process here? Are you going to, in any way, be influenced to find Mr. Loyd guilty because of that?
Yes, that's a bit of influence, yes.
All right, I have no questions, Judge.
State's moved for cause, any Judge? All right, thank you, sir. You're free to go. Okay. So we're bringing up the next panel. We're probably going to have to split up the questioning on them since we've run way over this morning. But let's get some of it done, and then we'll break for lunch. We're going to have a very short lunch today, folks. Yes.
I know you've told us in detail how the jury selection process is going.
Sure. The colored dots are done for purposes of the jurors calling in. That's the only reason they have colors, all right? So, starting on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, we're going to do individual questioning. Panels are called in 10 at a time at 9 a.m., 10:30, 1:30, and 3. So 40 a day. Okay?
So in that case, the individual question is going to be in what area?
Publicity, the death penalty, the insanity defense. And of course, if they say anything that's completely, a couple of these folks are going to bring back up their work issues, I'm sure. So I am going to, touch on availability for anybody that I have notes that there might be an issue. So, okay? And so far, we have 32 people coming back for individual voir dire. No, that's Monday. We filled up 9 a.m., 10:30, and 1:30. So we're into the 3 o'clock slot on Mondays. Thank you very much. All right, whenever you're ready, bring the next panel in. We're back on the record on State versus Loyd. He's present with his attorney. State Attorney's Office is present. We're missing who? Jurors in which seat? All right, in the meantime, let's go ahead and swear this panel in. All right, have a seat, folks. Oh. I apologize for the delay. The first group took longer than I thought it would. I'm Judge Marquez. I will be the presiding judge in this case. You are here part one of jury selection. We're talking to several groups today. You are the second group we've talked to. We are going to let you go to lunch, but I thought we'd get at least half an hour to 40 minutes of work done afterwards so that we can finish up. As I said, you're here for jury selection. I'll explain the criminal case, and I'll tell you a little bit more about the case in just a minute. How many of you have gone through jury selection before? Ever served on juries or gone through jury? Just raise up your paddles. Okay, quite a few. It's going to be unlike any other jury selection that you've been through, and I'll explain why in just a second. First of all, you may have noticed there's a TV camera in the courtroom. Case. That isn't anything for you all to worry about. Just ignore them. They are very good about not filming you. Publication of prospective jurors or jurors. Those paddles that you have refer to your seat numbers. When you're answering questions, raise those up. We are going to refer to you by your seat numbers for two reasons. Number one, it does help preserve your privacy. And number two, it's just much easier in a large group like this to questions if we do it by seat number. So just keep those paddles handy, and when you get called on, raise them up so we can see who's answering the question. Masks are mandatory in the Orange County Courthouse, and they are mandatory throughout this trial. I realize that the masks you all are wearing are probably the least comfortable masks that you have worn since this pandemic began. And I'm sorry about that. I actually wore those, one of those masks for a few hours just to try them out. And I apologize, but we need to be able to see your face while you're answering questions. That's why you're in those masks now. If you can wear your regular mask, you will not have to wear those masks, all right? So, before I go into too much detail about the process or the case, see if you all know anyone in the courtroom. I'm Judge Marquez, as I said. I'm the judge. It's my job to make sure that the law is followed in this, instructed on the law. So I rule on objections. I rule on what evidence is admissible. Is there anyone here who knows me or recognizes me from anywhere? If you do, raise your paddles, please. I see no paddles. Two ladies back of all the evidence and paperwork. Anybody know or recognize them? Nope. Okay. Folks, Orange County Sheriff's Department, they're here every day in the courthouse, in courtrooms. They provide, they're our liaison to the jury, and you'll see they'll escort you in and out and give you instructions. They also provide courtrooms who knows or recognizes any of these deputies. I'm not seeing any paddles. The lady in the front with the long hair and the black jacket is, which is she needs to take down everything that's said in this courtroom. And by that, I mean literally every word. You are going to so much easier if you speak up when you are answering questions. You're going to be handed a microphone because the acoustics in this courtroom are horrendous. So we need you to speak into the microphone. People hate public speaking. They hate answering questions in groups. I understand that, but the thing is, the court reporter can't take down gestures. So shaking your head, shrugging your shoulders, she can't take anything down. And the following phrases, and make absolutely no sense when we're writing them down. So please use words when you answer questions. Is there anyone here who recognizes our? Nope. All right, juror in seat number 11. Welcome, sir. Juror in seat number 11. I need you to raise your right hand. The clerk's going to swear you in. I don't know that he understands a word I'm saying. Raise your right hand. All right, you can have a seat. Sir, do you understand me? Do you understand English? English? You can't hear me? Can you hear us? Can you hear? By the way, can everyone hear me? Is anybody having trouble? No, he can't hear me? Okay. him for the record, we're getting him a headset, a hearing aid. Can you hear me now? Can you hear what I'm saying?
I think he just turned it off.
Can you hear me, sir? Yeah, I hear you. Okay, thank you. All right, the two gentlemen to my right representing the state of Florida. Gentlemen, do you introduce yourselves?
It's Ryan Williams. Detective Brian Savelli with the Orange County Sheriff's Office. Timothy Stevens. Takeshia Bryant. Julia Johnson. Monica Pridgeon. Monahan. Sean Williams of the Orlando Police Department. Detective Pete Cadis of the Orlando Police Department. Brandon Thornton, Orlando Police Department. Captain Joseph Carter, Orange County Sheriff's Office. Antoine Thomas. Stacy Monroe, Orlando Police Department. Mike Stanley, Orlando Police Department. Orange County Sheriff's Office. Paul Foster, Orlando Police Department. Deputy Chuck Ashworth. Cleveland Jenkins, Federal Marshal Service. Dr. Joshua Stephanie. Karen Livengood, Orlando Police Department. Detective Shane Overfield, Orlando Police Department. Darlene Dunn, Orlando Police Department. Gary Crosby, Orlando Police Department. Sean Johnson, Law Enforcement. Andrew Harrison, Orange County Sheriff's Office. Dr. Sarah Zadovich, Office of the Medical Examiner. Department of Law Enforcement. Tracy Anderson. Officer Jonathan Cute, Orlando. Donald Stewart. Dr. Michael Gamache. Detective Adam Crudo, Orlando Police Department. Mayor. Marianne Mitchell. Deputy Rachel Ward. Tanya Werner. Todd Erb. Earl Stokes. Howard Kuhn, Orlando Police Department. Theopolis Edward. Ronald Guerrero. Latoria Washington. Francine Tom. Tammy Hughes. Dorothy Patterson. Tanya Cowan. Hill. Dr. Robert Buck. Tamara Coker. Jim. Dr. Emily Lazaro. Rodney Lamond. Dr. Jeffrey Nagin. Dr. Greg Pritchard. Tony Rowland. Dr. Joseph and Kevin Whitmore.
Thank you. Does anyone recognize or know Mr. Williams, Mr. Buxman, or any of the witnesses whose names were called out? Seat 42, who do you know, sir?
Pass that down.
Hold on, we're going to pass a microphone to you.
I know a number of the OPD officers. Was mentioned, Tracy Anderson. I work for Orlando Fire Department.
You work for who?
Orlando Fire Department.
All right, sir, based on that, do you partial as to those witnesses' testimony?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Juror in seat 43. Yes, ma'am. Who do you know?
Tammy Hughes.
And how do you know her?
She's my stepmother.
Ma'am, do you think you could listen to Ms. Hughes' testimony and follow the and impartial as to her testimony? Or would you be more inclined to believe her because of who she is?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the last part? Repeat the last part?
Do you think you would automatically believe anything Ms. Hughes said just because, could you evaluate her testimony like any other witness, or would you be, I'm going to believe whatever she says, or I'm not going to believe anything she says?
You would believe what she says?
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Anybody else know any of those witnesses? Juror in seat number 4, yes, sir. All right.
I went to high school in Regina Hill.
You what?
I went to high school in Regina Hill.
You went to
Regina.
high school with Regina. What would influence your decision in this case? Could you be fair and impartial?
No.
No? Okay. Somebody else raised their paddle. Anybody else who knows one of the witnesses? No? All right. Over here to my left is the defense team, Mr. Linneman. If you'd introduce yourself and your team.
Good afternoon. My name's Linneman. And Kate O'Shea. We represent Mr. Markeith Loyd.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Linneman. That's fine.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Judge.
Sure.
These are potential defense witnesses. Patricia Loyd, Dana, Tanya Loyd, Odell Jones, Barry Jacobs, Tiana Loyd, Derek Harris, Eric Dorsey, Glenn McCree, Lorraine Harp, Jack Rona, Giovanna Joyce? Oh, I'm sorry. Giovanna Loyd, Jesse McCree, Shanika Bush, Trinika Hobbs, Tyran Wesley, Pat McKenna, John Sawicki, Dr. Jethro Toomer, Dr. Marvin Dunn, Dr. Michael Mayer, Dr. Jeffrey Colino, Dr. James Campbell, Dr. William Anderson.
Know or recognize Mr. Linneman, Ms. O'Shea, or Mr. Marrero, or any of the witnesses whose names were read out. Does anyone recognize Mr. Loyd? Raise your paddles. All right. Thank you, folks. Being tried, or this jury selection is being done in stages. All right. Mr. Loyd is charged, one of the counts against Mr. Loyd, and the state is asking that if Mr. Loyd is convicted of first-degree murder, Mr. Loyd be sentenced to death. So this is on the questions that you're being asked. I understand if you have more information. I just don't need, we don't need to talk about it today. All right? It's a longer process. You are not to discuss this case with anyone until you are You are not to look up anything on the internet. You are not to watch any media about this. There's a reason we give you this instruction, and it is a reason that is fundamental to our is this. People are entitled to know, both sides, the state and the defense, are entitled to know what evidence in making a decision in a case, in reaching a verdict. The only way that we know what evidence is being considered by you is that you hear in a courtroom. Testimony, physical evidence, all of that is evidence. You are limited to that. The internet or listening to the news media or talking to your friends about what their opinion is, you are considering evidence and listening to things that have not been presented. No one has had a chance to question or challenge. It is fundamentally unfair. It is not allowed. So I'm ordering you, don't look at anything, don't read anything, and tell all your curious family and friends that you are not allowed to discuss. So let me tell you a little bit about the case itself. This case is expected to take 2. I can't give you an exact time frame because I don't know what's going to happen in the trial. So, and by that I mean to the jury, for the jury to reach a verdict. There is no clock on a jury's reaching a verdict. We don't give you a time frame. We don't. It takes you as long as it takes you to reach a verdict. But you will be in the trial itself for 2 to 3 weeks. Because of the publicity in the case. Now that sounds horrible when you first hear it, but I don't know about you all, but it's been a long year pandemic. So sequestration is this. We put you up in a hotel. It's a nice hotel. Someone's going to make your bed, clean your room, take care of all those things for you. You will be able to see your family during this time. And by that I mean, spouse. You're not going to get cut off from them for 3 weeks. And I'm using 3 weeks as the longest example. You will be able to, when you're not in the courtroom, we will make provisions for you all, if you're a student, to do online work. If you're, for your job, you can answer work emails, that sort of thing, personal emails, as long as none of it has anything to do with this case. We work Monday through Friday from 9:30 to 5:30 to 6, depending on how long a witness takes on the stand, and we work part of the day. Because you're sequestered, we want to move the case along. We do not work on Sundays, all right? That's a free day that you would spend. And there's activities and recreation at the hotel. I'm telling you all of this because I'm now going to start asking you a series of questions. So I'm going to do this one row at a time so I can keep track and the lawyers can keep track. Will not pay them for the time that they're in jury selection. Raise your power. All right, jurors in seat 8 through 15. Anyone who does not jury service. All right, juror in seat number 8. I'll get to the back rows in a minute. Yes, ma'am. You don't get paid?
No, I'm a substitute teacher for Kelly Service.
And if you don't get paid, can you pay your bills?
No.
Thank you, ma'am. That row. All right, jurors in seats 16 through 22. Anyone whose employer does not pay them. All right, juror in seat number 18. We're going to give you the mic, ma'am.
No, I work at an OBGYN clinic.
You got to speak up. I can't hear you.
Get paid.
All right.
If I'm not working there.
Can you pay your bills if you don't get paid? All right. Is that a no? Remember
No.
about shaking your head. You got to answer out loud. Thanks. All right.
I work for Walt Disney World and I'm part-time, and unfortunately they do not pay us for jury
Okay.
duty.
Can you pay your bills without that part-time income?
No.
All right, thank you, sir. Anyone else in that row? Jurors seat 1 through 22, seat 20?
I work in the airport and I don't get paid. I'm part-time.
Can you pay your bills?
No.
16 through 22. All right, 16's 23, seats 23 through 30. Anyone who does not get paid. Jurors seats 28 and 29. 28, when you get the mic, if you could answer, please.
I'm an H.
Okay.
And I don't get paid for today, and that's all I know. I haven't asked it for any future days.
But they didn't pay you for today?
No.
Can you pay your bills if you're not being paid?
Yeah.
You need to call your supervisors and find out if you can get paid, all right? Juror in seat 29, what's your? That mic, it's not projecting at all. Okay.
Sorry?
There you go.
Okay. I'm a... I don't have my view.
So if you're not, do you have him? Okay. All right, can you pay your bills if you're not working? Anybody else in that row? All right, jurors 7, third row on this side, on the left side, my left. Who doesn't get paid? All right, juror seat number 37, yes, sir? Or
My employer, and that is it.
you get paid for 3 days?
Yes.
All right, if you didn't have the income from the rest of the day, it would be 18 days. Can you make ends meet?
No, that would be a problem. I'm a widow. I'm the only income earner in my home.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Who's the next one? Put up your paddles. I can't see who's answering.
Huh?
Can you put your paddle up? 30 what?
Hello?
Sir, see the number. Thank you. 35. Okay, thank you. Thanks. Yes, sir. Can you,
Yes,
do you get
I
paid?
work at Walmart, and I can't take off that long.
Not working?
No, I have to pay. Yeah, I get paid.
You do get
I
paid?
don't get paid if I'm not working.
Okay. Can you pay your bills if you don't
no.
get paid? You're in seat number 34?
Yeah, I'm a server and bartender,
Uh-huh.
and not for that long now.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else in that row? All right, jurors in seats 5. Anyone who doesn't get paid by their employer. Juror in seat number 40.
I work as a dishwasher,
Okay?
and I can pay my bills, so.
If you don't have income, you still can pay your bills?
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you. Who else raised a paddle? Who was it? What seat number are you in, sir?
44.
Okay, thank you.
I don't get paid like if I'm going to be here for 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
I'm theater at Disney Springs,
Okay. Can you,
and I don't really have any bills to pay. As far as I know, I'm not going to get paid if I miss 2 to 3 weeks.
okay, but you don't have any bills?
At the moment, no.
Okay. All right, thank you. Jurors in seat, anybody else in that room? 40, I'm sorry, 43. I'm sorry, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I work as a freelancer, and I can't.
Thank you, ma'am. Jurors in seats 46 through 52. Juror 51. Yes, sir?
I don't get paid if I don't work.
Can you pay your bills?
No,
All right, thank you, sir. And can you pass that microphone down to juror in seat 47?
So if I don't work, I don't get paid. I can't pay my bills.
All right, thank you, sir. And through 60, anybody who doesn't get paid by their employer. All right, starting with juror in seat 54.
I work from home. They didn't pay me for today, so I'm not sure if they're going to pay me for the rest. And I won't be able to pay my bills.
Okay.
Hi, I'm going to get paid for today, but I only think they only pay for 3.
Hold on. Juror in seat 55. Go ahead, ma'am. Yeah.
I think I'm going to get paid for today, but I don't think they will pay me for 3 weeks, and I only have a part-time job.
Okay. Can you pay your bills without that income?
No.
And somebody else raised their paddle. Juror in seat 58.
I'm an automotive technician at Rikers, and I do not get paid for my time off, and I will not be able to pay my bills.
All right. Thank you. Do I have anyone on the panel who has difficulty understanding English? All right. Juror in seat number 11. What's your native language, sir?
Vietnamese.
Okay. How much English do you understand?
I can understand like up to 50%, but the problem is my hearing is not very well.
Okay.
I mean, I'm lost hearing, so that means my misunderstood a lot of things.
All right. Can you understand what I'm saying, or are you having trouble hearing me?
Yeah, if you speak slower, I can understand. With faster.
So I talk too fast?
Yeah.
Okay. You're not the first person to tell me that, sir. Anyone else who has trouble with English? Juror in seat number 29. Yes, sir. What's your native language?
Okay.
What's your native language?
Say again.
What language do you speak? Okay. All right, thank you, sir. Anybody else? Juror in seat number 13. Yes, sir.
Yes, I speak Vietnamese.
You speak Vietnamese? How much English do you understand?
About 30 or 40%.
I'm sorry?
Just a little bit.
All right, thank you, sir. Anybody else? Juror in seat 45.
I speak English or only Spanish.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else on this side? 51.
I speak Vietnamese.
I'm sorry, you speak
English
Vietnamese?
second language.
How much English do you speak?
Not like a lot, but I can understand much.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Juror in seat 46. Yes, ma'am.
I don't speak English well, so I can understand some, not a lot.
What language do you speak, ma'am?
I speak French and Creole.
French and Creole? All right. Thank you. Anyone else? All right, let me see the attorneys for a minute, please. All right, I need the following jurors to remain in the courtroom. If I call out your number, stay in the courtroom. I'm calling out your seat number. If not, you are excused for lunch. You need to be back here on the 23rd floor of the courthouse. At 1:30, we're going to resume the rest of questioning on this group. Do not discuss the case while you're at lunch. Don't talk to anybody. Don't look up anything. If you run into the attorneys, they are not going to speak to you. They're not even going to say hello. They're under court order not to have contact with you outside of the courtroom. They're perfectly nice people. They just can't talk to you outside the courtroom. So please don't hold it against them. So if you hear your seat number called, stay in the courtroom. 8, 11, 13, 18, 19, 20, 29, 34, 35, 37, 43, 45, 46, 47, 51, 54, 55, and 58. Stay in the courtroom. Everyone else, you're excused for lunch. I'll see you back here at 1:30. Leave your paddles in the chairs, please. You're on the top floor of the courthouse, 23. What do I do? Who do I talk to? Right there. You want to go to lunch? You go to lunch? Juror number 35, you're free to go. You can leave, sir. He doesn't have to come back. He can leave. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, all of you are being excused as jurors in this case with the thanks of the court. You need to go downstairs to the jury room and check out through the jury room. They have some paperwork for you, including the letters for your employers or everyone who needs to know that you were in jury duty today, and they can validate your parking if you haven't had that done yet. All right, thank you very much. You are free to go. You can keep your mask, leave the paddles. The masks are our gift to you. Wait, who do you have an extra juror? What do you mean?
Yep.
Seat 7, what about her? She went to lunch. Why is she in the courtroom? Why is she still here?
Sure, I need her.
Why can't you come back?
I'm so sorry. I don't know if I can make it back in time. I have a baby at home, and I have to go run home and nurse, and I don't know if I can commit to this anyway, so I don't know if, like...
Are you a nursing mom, ma'am?
Yeah. I didn't know I needed to take care of that before today online.
It's all right. Jury selection is not a normal process for people, so you're not really expected to know all of this.
Yeah.
So you're a nursing mom?
Yeah.
State? Defense? She's a nursing mom. I'm sorry? She is the juror in seat number 7, juror number 83, correct?
Yes.
All right, ma'am, you're excused from jury service. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Check out
Sorry.
through the courtroom, or through the jury room.
Just go down to the jury.
All right, folks, we're in recess until 1:30.